Today on UB Basketball Insider, women's head coach Felicia Legette-Jack joins us to talk about today's home game against Bowling Green. We'll sit down with guard Stephanie Reed and talk fundamentals, shooting, scoring, and passing. Men's head coach Nate Oates sits down with us to discuss his team's stretch run. It is the March to Madness, and it starts right now on UB Basketball Insider.
Long three from Hamilton. He banks it in and he's fouled. Hamilton banked in the three for his first points of the night.
To the cross half court. She's asking for Joanna to come to the ball. She got it to her. Joe's three-pointer. Count it. That's a bad sign for the Bobcats.
Hamilton drives it, gets by the defender, all the way to the basket for the two-hand jam.
Men's basketball coach Nate Oates is here to talk about the final week of the regular season, Nate, and I know how much you know this is a big tone setter for your team going into the MAC tournament. You want to end strong. You want to be playing well. Is that a little bit of what you're trying to get your guys to understand as they get ready to go towards tournament time?
Yeah, we want to be playing our best basketball going into March, so, it's go time now. We got to, and we've been able to do that the last couple of years, so it's a little bit fragile. Last year we lost our senior night game at home against Miami, who was not one of the better teams in the league at the end of last year. But we got it righted at the right time. So I don't know if it would have been good to have won. I guess we could have been on a 10-game winning streak going into the conference tournament. It would have been great for the record, but with some groups you need to get a little wake-up call. So hopefully we get this thing righted and get back playing as good a basketball as we played all year, heading in the right time of the year.
2 games left for your team. It starts on Tuesday on the road, a very tough place to play, always a tough place to play at Ohio. 6 o'clock start that you can see on the CBS Sports Network. Ohio's playing very well right now. Even though they're without Antonio Campbell, one of the best players in the conference, they have picked their game up. What jumps out at you about them?
Yeah, you know what? They had the freshman big come in and get a lot more minutes. Now that Campbell's out and he's pretty good. So, Carter's playing great. They still had one of the best point guards in the league in Simmons, and he'd kind of been Simmons and Campbell were good. But, Kaminsky shoots the ball well. I mean, he was at Michigan State, one of their best shooters, if not their best shooter when he was there. So they spread the floor well. Carter's got a lot more minutes now that Campbell's gone, is playing well, and they picked it up. And their defense is a lot better this year than it was last year. Last year they were a really good offensive team, and their defense wasn't nearly as good. And they've talked about it that they had to pick their defense up this year, and they've done a really good job with it. And they're one of the best defensive teams in our league right now.
And then Friday night here at home, it's the home finale, a 7 o'clock tip-off against the Bowling Green Falcons. That's going to be senior day, as every last home regular season game is. Talk a little bit about that group of guys that are going to have an emotional moment there when you think about the impact of Blake Hamilton and Willie Connor and David Kadiri and Raheem Johnson and even Christian Pino, what they've meant to this program.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, the 3 of those guys came in together with Blake and Willie and David. And they've come in, and their first year here, we were able to make the NCAA tournament, and, Blake hit the big shot. Willie was the tournament MVP. Blake was all conference. Kadiri was a little injured last year, but he's picked it up. He's had some great games for us this year. So 3 of those guys have been huge for the program. And Raheem and Pino have been here a year longer than those 2. Raheem came in and then had the redshirt year last year with the injury, so he's been here for both tournament runs, even though he wasn't able to play last year, and so has Pino. And they're both 2 of my kids that I coached at Romulus, and be great. They can both graduate from here and have a college degree, and all 5 of them are on pace to graduate here in the spring semester. So, we should graduate all 5 of our seniors, which is good news, and they've all contributed basketball-wise. And, like Alan Green says, they're here to get a ring on their finger. They've already done that. Some of them 2 rings, and, and get their degree, and they're on pace to do that. So, great night for us to celebrate both academically and athletic-wise, and hopefully we can get a win for them on senior night. Hopefully they can help us get a win on senior night.
There you go. That'll be a very special night. That is coming up this Friday against Bowling Green at 7 o'clock here at Alumni Arena. Let's look back at a win a week ago. A nice win for your team over Miami, 71-58 in that one. Good performances from Hamilton. Dante Carruthers had another nice win. That was your 6th win in a row. Good, solid performance in that game. What jumped out at you?
Hey, you know what? We didn't play a great game, I didn't think, but we were good enough where we played a little bit under what we've been playing, still were able to get a win. So it is good, and it shows you can play different styles. They completely junk it up and switch defenses on you and make it a little messy and hard. And we were able to grind it out, even though it wasn't the prettiest win, and figure out how to get a win. CJ didn't shoot the ball that great, and we still got a win. So hopefully we can get everybody playing at their personal best basketball going into it. But even if we got a couple that aren't, we just keep playing and getting some wins that way.
How much did you enjoy the 100 seasons of basketball celebration that was part of that weekend against Miami?
Yeah, it was great. We were able to meet a lot of the alumni. I met quite a few of them before, but not all of them that came back. I was able to meet, Sam Pelham. I got to meet him and his coach. Sam actually grew up close to where Quate's from down in North Carolina, and he played in the NBA. I got to learn some more UB basketball trivia, and I thought it was great. Megan Reed did a great job getting them all back. We had a good time with them. We spent a lot of time with them. Our guys watched the whole game, kind of got into it, cheered them on, and then we came back, followed it up with a win on Saturday when a lot of them were here. It was great to hear from them, after the game, and they're really pulling for us. I think a lot of the alumni are behind us and following us, and more so than you would even know until you actually meet them and talk to them. So it was good for me. It was good for the program. I think most of the alumni, all the feedback we got, they were really happy with it. So it was a pretty good weekend for everybody involved.
UB basketball trivia, maybe a segment for your show next year. How's that sound? You like that?
Yeah, I like it. me and Coach Hodgson met with True Blue section. One of the nights this week, we came in with some trivia games, some T-shirts and some. So I got a little bit of a down.
All right, good. I like it. There you go. We're going to work on it for next year. Hey, congratulations on this season as a whole. Good luck this final week, and then I know tournament time is going to be special. It always is around here. So good luck once you get to Cleveland and bring home another championship, would you?
Thanks. Appreciate it. We're going to try.
All right, that's Nate Oates. He's the men's basketball coach here at UB. When we return on UB Basketball Insider, we flip it around. We'll talk women's hoops with Felicia Leggett-Jack. That is next.
Buffalo sports fans, get to Alumni Arena on Friday, March 3rd as the UB men's basketball team takes on the Falcons of Bowling Green. It's the final regular season home game, and the Bulls are primed to make another run at a third MAC championship title. Tip-off 7 p.m. Don't miss it. The UB men's basketball team takes on the Falcons of Bowling Green in the final regular season home game. Get to Alumni Arena on Friday, March 3rd. For tickets, call 1-877-UB-THERE.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider, and we are courtside with a chance to catch up with UB women's basketball coach Felicia Leggett-Jack. Your team in action later today, a 1 o'clock start here at Alumni Arena. We'll have to get out of the way because I know your team likes to move fast, but it's a 1 o'clock start against Bowling Green. Home finale for you. We'll talk about that in a moment, but you already own a win over Bowling Green already this year. When you get a team the second time around and you get them at home, is there a certain level of confidence that your team plays with?
Every game is about survive and advance, and no team should be discarded. No team should be looked over. And I just know that the coach there has been doing a tremendous job over the history of Bowling Green. She was a part of the staff that won 11 MAC championships, I think, in the past, and they've done a tremendous job in the years prior. They didn't do well against us at home, but you know what? If we overlook them, they can do really well against us. So we're good. We're taking them serious. They can shoot the ball. They have some great guards. They have a strong post player down low. She's young, but she's gotten better as the season's got longer.
All right. Well, you're going to have the right emotion level going into today's game because, as I did mention, it's the final home game of the year, so it's senior day. The only senior that you're bidding adieu to for the moment would be one of your most important ones, and maybe one of the most important ones in your coaching tenure. What first comes to mind when we mention the name Joanna Smith?
Commitment, character, integrity, hard worker. I mean, she's just a person that just bought in from day one before she even came here. And I was trying to find some kids to come with her. And she said to me, she said, Coach, I don't care if they come or they don't come. I made a commitment to you, and we together will find a way to get it done. And here we are 4 years later with a MAC championship under our belt, arguably a chance to go after another one. And her tenure here is because she made a commitment from the first day.
I think Bulls fans may know a little bit about the wonderful story about how she winds up here. A really high-level player in the state of Mississippi. The broken leg probably took some teams out of the mix. You stuck with her. As you look back on her 4 years from that point when maybe you weren't even sure of the player that she was going to become, how has she developed and grown and changed?
Well, I was always sure. She wasn't sure. She lost her confidence, and I had to really had a coming to the Lord kind of conversation with her. I really drew the line in the sand. In her sophomore year, I thought she was grossly underachieving. I thought she was excited about being on the bench and letting everybody else do the work, although she practiced hard and ran the mile and a half, and she wasn't really fighting to be a starter or a star. And I really challenged her to the point where I reduced her to tears, and I said, two things are going to either happen. One, you're going to change and become great, or two, you're going to quit. And so there's no quitting Joe. She changed, and the rest is history. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she has become great. One of the all-time great shooters, scorers, three-point shooters in UB school history. She had a key game a week ago on a Saturday afternoon here at Alumni Arena when your team really played one of its most well-rounded games of the year, a 30-point win over Akron that was really not much in doubt from the first quarter on. What is it that your team did so well in that game?
I just shared a poem with them called Defying Gravity. What happens when you just assume that you can't fail? You just don't know how to miss, that the defense will be perfect. What if we fly around the floor like that? And we decided to do that. And we really are a good team when we don't bring in the burden of can't. And they decided that they wanted to be great, and they brought the energy. The energy turned into synergy, and we all got a taste of it, and we were able to all play. It was really neat to not just have Joe play well, but to have all of our players that could play, not only play, but also score.
Yeah, and Gabby Bade with a career-high 10 rebounds, one of the unusual things that happened in that game, which was a lot of fun to watch. Your leading scorer in that game was Stephanie Reed. Not a surprise as she continues to have this amazing season. She is now leading the MAC in assists. She's third in the country. She's moving up the charts, well on her way to becoming the all-time assist leader here at UB. She seems to have found a nice even ground between scoring and assisting. Is that something that your coaching staff worked on?
Well, I think she can be a better assist person if we can make more layups.
Okay.
To be real honest with you. Stephanie always could score, but we're now stressing her to really think that she can shoot the three. And Coach Cherie has been working with her a lot on her three-point shooting percentage. And we're saying in order for you to do a better job shooting the three, making the three, you have to take the three. And now she's taking more shots, and it's opening that defense up a lot, and it's allowing Cassie to have a lot more fun down low.
Yeah, and I think Stephanie tied a career high for three-pointers made in that game a week ago. So all that good coaching is starting to pay off. We'll have much more on Stephanie Reed coming up in our next segment, but don't forget, Felicia Leggett-Jack's team on the court here at Alumni Arena. It's a 1 o'clock start later today against Bowling Green. Much more of UB Basketball Insider coming up next.
Here, it's not just what we do, it's how we do it.
This segment of UB Basketball Insider is brought to you by CEFCU. For all your banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit your local branch or go to cefcu.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider as we continue to get you ready for today's women's basketball game against Bowling Green, a 1 p.m. tip-off here at Alumni Arena. And Stephanie Reed joins us for a little chat about how your season is going, but we'll start with today's game. You already have one win over Bowling Green. The one thing that jumps out when you look back at that Bowling Green game, Stephanie, at least to me, is only 4 assists for you. What is it that they did to keep you from rolling up the assists like you've been doing since then?
I mean, they played a pretty tight defense, and in that game especially, I scored a lot more, and I hadn't at that point developed my game to be able to score an assist as much as I have now. So, you know, we're coming back now. You know, if I can score, I'll assist too.
Right. Okay. Today is also going to be an emotional day for you and your teammates because it's senior day. And while it's not really goodbye, there's a little part of knowing you're going to be saying goodbye to Joanna Smith. First, talk about what the emotions are going to be like for you, and then talk a little bit about what Joanna has meant to you and your teammates.
You know, it's going to be a tough day to see Jo have her last home game here, but, you know, she's just contributed so much. You know, I wouldn't be the player I am without her, and she's really pushed me on and off the court. She's a great friend and a great teammate and a great captain too. So, you know, we're really going to miss Jo next year, but, you know, we're going to put it all out there today for her.
Aside from what she does on the basketball court, which is finish off a lot of those passes for you, how much of an inspiration through some of her travels and struggles to get to the point where she's one of the best players in the Max, how much inspiration has that been for you and your teammates?
Oh, it's definitely a huge inspiration. I mean, she came from someone in her junior year her sophomore year that hadn't really played much to someone that led the MAC. And, you know, she's a great player. She's going to make all first team this year, I call it now. Like, there's no way she cannot. You know, she's an incredible player and a hard worker at that, and she really sets an example for us on and off the court.
Well, as you think about some of the accomplishments that you've already done and are going to do as they relate to assists on the career and the season record, you can't help but think that Joanna's probably about half of those passes for you. You guys
Definitely.
are always going to be linked together, aren't you?
Yes, definitely. She's more than half, I'm sure, honestly. She's a great finisher and, you know, a great teammate.
Right. You're now leading the MAC in assists. You're third in the country in assists. Before we talk a little bit about your growth as a scorer, what is it that has allowed you to even up your assist game over the last couple of weeks?
Honestly, I think it's just the freedom I've been allowed to play with, and, you know, the team puts a lot of trust in me, and, you know, I put a lot of trust in them to finish those passes. I mean, we have such great scorers, and we're really good across the board now. I mean, we're a lot deeper this year, and everyone contributes. So when you have such a wide base of scorers, I mean, what can you ask for? It's easy.
Right. Well, and now you have to include yourself in the wide base of scorers because you have been scoring more, and one of the ways you're doing that, and we just talked to Coach about this, is a little more confidence with your three-point shot. You tied your career high a week ago against Akron. Coach said you've been doing a lot of practicing on it. Is it a confidence thing to know that I can make them, so I'm going to start taking them?
Yeah, definitely, and I think it really started with doing the work. I mean, you know, I've recently been shooting a lot more. You know, I need to have that dimension of my game. I can't just be one-dimensional, and I think it comes with the confidence as I've shot enough shots to be able to shoot this one confidently, and now I think that I have that confidence and I'm ready to shoot it.
How do you know where to mix, or does the game dictate the mix between I've got to score more today or I've got to be more of a distributor today?
I mean, it just goes on the day, really. I mean, I do what I have to do in order to win. And if that's score, then I'll score. If I have to pass and, you know, if I have to get 15 assists in a game to win, I don't mind. I'll take them. But, you know, whatever we have to do to win, I'm willing to do.
All right, well, we'll find out exactly what Stephanie has to do to win today because the Bulls are in action. It's the home regular season finale right here at Alumni Arena, a 1 p.m. tip-off with Bowling Green. Good luck whether you're scoring or shooting or everything else.
Thank you.
Stephanie Reed's having an outstanding season. We thank her for her time. Much more to come on UB Basketball Insider.
Buffalo sports fans, get to Alumni Arena on Friday, March 3rd as the UB men's basketball team takes on the Falcons of Bowling Green. It's the final regular season home game, and the Bulls are primed to make another run at a third MAC championship title. Tip-off 7 p.m. Don't miss it. The UB men's basketball team takes on the Falcons of Bowling Green in the final regular season home game. Get to Alumni Arena on Friday, March 3rd. For tickets, call 1-877-UB-THERE.
Hi, I'm Mercedes Lozada from Spain. I play tennis at UB, and I'm a business major. I grew up in a family that we played tennis since I was 3 years old. My parents, they both play tennis, my grandparents, so tennis has been everything in my life. My dad and my mom want me to play tennis, and my brother, I actually didn't like tennis at all. I wanted to dance or go to other sports. When I was around 13, 14, I started training harder. I start competing really late. But at that time, I started liking it more. I realized how good it was gonna be for my life. I started meeting some people, and they told me about this opportunity of coming to the States. I never thought about going to the States and play tennis. And so after that, I start meeting some people, and then I start contacting universities, taking like the exams and everything, preparing myself to come here. I really liked the first impression I had with my coaches. Also, I think the university had a lot of potential related with my major with business, so that make a really great impact. Honestly, I didn't realize how much it was going to impact my life, the fact that I was going to be with people from all over the world. Like, everyone is different from a different country. But I really like the fact that I'm getting to know, like every year I'm going to get to know a different girl from a different country with a different culture, a different way of living. And this helped me to open my mind. I've learned how to create my environment to be a new family, not only the family that I have back home. So like my friends have become my sisters. That's why I came here. It's the best option I have. Like, I can play tennis, I can compete, I can keep improving my tennis, and I also can learn a different language, study in a really big university, really big important university here. I'm gonna study marketing and international business, and my goal is to stay here and find a job, because I think America has like really good opportunities to develop myself as a marketing major foremost. If I did not have this scholarship, I think I will see myself stopping playing tennis as a competition, which is for me really sad. I wouldn't have the chance of coming here to America to study here, to find a job in here. Like, they're helping all the athletes to be better citizens for America and for all over the world. You know, like, they're giving us the opportunity to study, they're giving us the opportunity to do what we want. They're investing in a future.
Well, that'll put a wrap on this week's UB Basketball Insider. The women are home today. It's a 1 o'clock tip-off against Bowling Green. You can see it on ESPN3 and hear it on ESPN 1520. The men are on the road Tuesday at Ohio. That's a game that you can catch at 6 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. And, of course, the men's home finale is this coming Friday at 7 o'clock. That'll put a wrap on this season of UB Basketball Insider. We'll be back in March to talk spring sports and, of course, spring football.